February 4th, 2026, the 380th day of the Sex Offender Administration. U.S. District Judge Michael Simon has temporarily restricted immigration officers from shooting tear gas or projectile munitions at protesters outside the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Building in Portland, Oregon, which has been the site of repeated demonstrations since last year. He will rule on the use of bullets on a casing-by-casing basis. In an interview with NPR's Wildcard podcast on Tuesday, Melinda French Gates said she felt unbelievable sadness seeing her ex-husband's name mentioned in the files, which were released on Friday by the Justice Department. Quote, "Whatever questions remain there for those people, and for even my ex-husband, they need to answer to those things. Not me." Close quote. She said, quote, "And I am so happy to be away from all the muck that was there." Close quote. She added, "My name's Belinda, and I can't defend you." 3 Southern Alberta Mustangs junior hockey players were killed Monday in a vehicle crash while heading to practice. J.J. Wright and Cameron Casorso, both 18 from Kamloops, British Columbia, and 17-year-old Caden Fine of Birmingham, Alabama, were killed when they collided with a semi-truck. The semi-truck was charged with roughing. Former First Lady Joe Biden's ex-husband, William Stevenson, was indicted on a first-degree murder charge connected to the death of his second wife, Linda Stevenson, 64, late last year in Delaware. So the headline should read, "Former First Lady's first husband killed his second wife for the first time." This has been the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for February 4th, 2026, the 380th day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Okay, we're flying to a kickbot. 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 Ah, boy. Good morning, folks. It is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. Yeah. And we have no guest today. Or we might, maybe, I don't know. Elizabeth Croydon told me that maybe she could hook up some political cartoonists who might be joining us, but I haven't heard back, and I'm not holding my breath on that. So it might just be me and GD. Me and GD and a dog named Boo, without the dog named Boo. You know, if you follow me on social media at all, you know I can be quite the emotional little bitch. I wear my heart on my sleeve a lot. And this week in particular, first week of February, has been really rough for the last 9 years. And if you follow me, you know why. So a couple of days ago, I posted about why. Because it's the anniversary of my son's life ending. So about 6 months ago, MAGA comedian. I say that because you know what, you have to say that when some of these comedians who are just far right wing, first of all, the odds of them are being funny. It's like a rich man getting through the eye of a camel, eye of a needle, or whatever, camel through the eye of a needle to get into that. The odds of a MAGA dude being funny, slim and none. Nick DiPaolo, if you know the name, is a MAGA comedian. Very far right wing, sense of tough guy, bullshit tough guy, phony tough guy, phony old school conservative. Doesn't know shit. And he's not very funny and he's not very smart. 6 months ago, he added me as a friend on Facebook. A friend requested me because Facebook recommended him to me. Now, I say that because, well, what are we getting lots of ads here already on YouTube? I don't know why that is. Pardon me with the ads. I'll see if I can make them less ads on Facebook, not Facebook, on YouTube in a moment. Go back to Nick DiPaolo. So he saw that we have friends in common. Now, this confuses me because most of my comedian friends, people I'm friendly with in the comedy world, are not MAGA people. They are against the whole fascism and Trumpism, whatever it is. So it's surprising me that we have friends in common. And so I accepted the friend request, not thinking that I would ever hear from him. But as I mentioned, I put this thing out about my son's death and got a lot of support from people, friends of mine, because of that, saying very nice things and seeing me through a very dark day in my life. Nick DiPaolo decides to come on there and says, "Why do people do this? Not being disrespectful, but why do we need to hear this?" And I don't think he expected that he would get an answer, much less an honest answer. And the honest answer is simply this: it's a desperate cry for help. I know that sounds, whoa, what the fuck is that? Yes, I was almost, not quite, because I'm too much of a pussy, as we know. If you ever follow my music, you know I'm too much of a pussy to hurt myself. But suicidal ideation and that kind of stuff. And I needed the support of my friends. Is that so hard to understand? I think that's pretty obvious. If somebody is putting out a bitchy, whiny, moany, poor me, and then right in I said, I act like I'm okay. I'm not okay. That should be an indication that it is a cry for help. And that's exactly what it was. I'm not even going to try to um, just cover that up in any way possible. That's exactly what it was. It was a plea for help. I needed people who have been there, who understand, to offer some supportive words. But to not be able to understand it, and this said, come off with no disrespect. Of course it's disrespect. You know what? And I'm not, trying not to get angry in my response to it. And I wasn't angry in my response to it. I was very honest and open about my vulnerability in that place. And it's a tough week. But to kind of bullshit me, it's not disrespect. No disrespect meant. Yes, it's exactly disrespect meant, you MAGA fuck. I'm sorry. Fortunately, I don't have to hear from Nick DiPaolo ever again. You know, Nick DiPaolo is famous for one thing. If you're a Mitch Hedberg fan and you know the bit about playing his music too loud in a hotel and a knock came on the wall, and he was talking about there's no door. I got a wall here and walk around. The person knocking on the wall because his music was too loud was Nick DiPaolo. So he's most famous for being a dick complaining about Mitch Hedberg playing his music too loud. Not to belabor the point, he doesn't need any kind of I don't know, notoriety or being made more, people being made more aware of Nick DiPaolo and his dopey comedy. But you know what? People just cold-hearted is the only word I can think. And speaking of cold-hearted, I have to, and I'll wait until after GD's in the room to do this. I have to share a video of Aaliyah. I think her name is Aaliyah Rahman. You know, I'm not good. Please stand by while we pronounce names. Testimony before Congress about the ICE stuff. And this is the woman who was dragged out of a car. She was going to a doctor's appointment. She has a traumatic brain injury. And ICE beat her up, cut her seatbelt out, dragged her out, beat her up, threw her on the ground, and roughed her up. And I think we need to hear that. Now, I'm going to get a copyright strike for playing that. I don't fucking care, because the world needs to hear this stuff. And MAGA people need to accept their own personal responsibility for it, for enabling it. You can't hide. Once you hear this testimony, if it doesn't touch your heart and you can't feel it, you are a scumbag and you should give up your membership in humanity today. Secondly, you need to really evaluate and stand up against it. It's not, and I got a couple of text messages from ex-MAGA friends who said they love me and miss me. Yeah, bullshit. You love me, but you love the people who tried to fucking kill me more. You're down with all this shit. And until it's not enough to just think, well, that's a pity that that's happening. That's a shame that that's happening. You have to stand up against it. You have to stand up and say, this is wrong and it must stop. Even if you voted for it, even if you once supported and didn't think it would get to this, it's time you stood up and said, stop the fucking insanity. So we're going to play that video in a moment. But first, I have to play something, bring GD into the room. And maybe we're not going to have a political cartoonist on today. And maybe that'll be fine. But in the meantime, let's all take some, whatever it is, Mind Bloom. Ketamine, and just blast off, okay?
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches, we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me now is a man who also has a traumatic brain injury. He just doesn't know it yet. GD Fenderson. Good morning, GD.
Good morning, America.
I'm sorry.
MindDogTV.com/merch. All for all the stuff that you don't need but ought to have. Support your local mercenaries and make Matt some money. Enjoy the suffering.
Yeah, make Matt some money. There you go. Yeah, and Heavy Kev says, you know, I got to read this, even though I can't read it with these fucking glasses. I got to order new glasses today. Sorry to hear about your dog. It's not my dog. It's my stepdaughter's dog, but thank you very much. But it's just a precious puppy. She was a precious puppy. I still call her a puppy. She's 11 years old. I cried more when I lost my dogs than when I lost my two brothers, sisters, and parents. Well, you know, that's a common thing. They are a family, and I get that. I make a lot of jokes about that woman who called about her cat who died 18 years ago, but I definitely get it. But here's the thing with Autumn. Yesterday, what Heavy Kev is referring to there. Yesterday, I posted another emotional bitch because I was crying all fucking day. I had this fucking headache, and I got to work now, and I got a crying headache. You ever get a crying headache? Oh my God. But Autumn, she's not suffering. She's just sitting there looking in my eyes like, I know I'm dying. I'm saying goodbye. Oh my God. It's just like, and you go put yourself through that for 4 hours at a time. It's just like, what do you, because they can't talk back and say anything, right? They just look at you like, yeah, I'm dying. Fucking brutal, man. Brutal. So I get it. Are you familiar with Leah Rahman's testimony? Have you seen any of it?
Are you talking to me or Heavy Kev?
You.
No.
Happy Kev can't answer. He can't say yes, I've seen it, or no, I haven't seen it.
I saw part of the testimony live. I was watching part of it live yesterday.
Fucking brutal, man. And the brutality of these guys, knowing that she's saying, I have a traumatic brain injury, and they say too late. Well, it's too fucking late to have a traumatic brain. It's too late to be a victim. What the fuck? These people, obviously, the people who are in ICE are scumbags, losers, and just mean.
I have a theory, a hypothesis. I have a hypothesis.
Hold on, you got I don't know. All right, you need to put it in a peer-reviewed paper. Your theory, but go ahead.
Okay, I have a hypothesis, and I have no way of testing this yet. But I believe part of the training for ICE officers is that they watch the snide remarks from like Dirty Harry movies. You know, it's like, so when they go through, they don't watch the whole movies. They're not watching training films. They're just watching the snide remarks. And like at the beginning of Law and Order, you know, where the guy goes, man, I wonder what the last thing to go through his mind was. The bullet. Dum dum. You know, that kind of stuff. You know, like, I don't know, punk. Do you feel lucky? Make my day. So they're watching all these things like Charles Bronson movies. And just not the whole movies, but just the snarky remarks, so that they are armed with those in the street.
I have an.
They probably practice them in the car on the way over. They go like, you know, what would be really funny if we said, "Not today, bitch," and then kicked her in the pussy.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I have an alternative hypothesis, which is similar, but not. They don't make them watch these and train. They are just choosing people who have obsessed on that shit their whole life. These video game playing, beer drinking. Oh, I just can't wait to kill me some colored people. They're just recruiting the worst of the worst of people who are already watched all those fucking bits and remember them.
Yeah, they watch those films, but when they train them, they ingrain it. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think
you have to be they're predisposed to want to do that. They're predisposed. They grew up with with all that shit. But when the training comes, because remember, it's only 47 days of training. You know, because Trump is the 47th, claims to be the 47th president. And I still blame you, Biden, for that, but that's beside the point.
I blame a lot of people for that.
Yeah. I mean, for the number, I blame Biden.
Oh, yeah.
Because Trump had printed up the 45-47 hats a while, way before the election. And Biden should have just fucked him over and resigned and let Kamala Harris be sworn in, so she'd be the 47th president, and Trump would be stuck with all those fucking hats. If for no other reason, do it for the fucking hats.
He would have got 48 days of training then.
Well, but he probably wouldn't have won then, because Kamala Harris would have been president.
I don't think he won.
Well, I'm just saying, sworn in, I should say, right? Because there's just too much Elon Musk in the background.
Yeah. I'm gonna force people, if they want to hang with us, I'm gonna force them to watch this short video today, Leah Rahman, because I think I've had enough, and I think if you don't fucking feel this in your heart, you're not fucking human. You're not human, because you can tell by this woman's delivery that she's not somebody who needs to get beat up. She's not somebody who did anything wrong or was asking for trouble. Oh, she was asking for it, like the people you shot in the back of the head. No, nobody's asking for it. I gotta play this. So here. Oh, do we not have it here? Oh, I gotta hit the start button. Why don't you tell me these things?
Thank you, members, for taking time to be here today, and thank you, staff, for making this happen. My name is Aliyah Rahman, and I am a resident of South Minneapolis. I'm a Bangladeshi American, born in northern Wisconsin, and I'm a disabled person with autism and a traumatic brain injury. Not all autistic brains do this, but mine fixates on sounds, numbers, and patterns. And while what the world saw happen to me exactly 3 weeks ago today on video was a terrible violation, it is still nothing compared to the horrific practices I saw inside the Whipple Center. So I am here today with a duty to the people who have not had the privilege of coming home. And I offer this data because these practices must end now. On January 13th, on the way to my 39th appointment at Hennepin County's Traumatic Brain Injury Center, I encountered a traffic jam caused by ICE vehicles and no signs indicating how to get around it. I had not wanted to pull into a blocked, chaotic intersection, but verbally agreed to do so and rolled down my window after an agent yelled, "Move! I will break your effing window!" His first instruction. Agents on all sides of my vehicle yelled conflicting threats and instructions that I could not process while watching for pedestrians. Then the glass of the passenger side window flew across my face. I yelled, "I'm disabled," at the hands grabbing at me, and an agent said, "Too late." I felt immersed in a pattern, and I thought of Genoa Donald, an autistic Black man killed by police during a traffic stop in 2021. I remembered Mr. Sliberio Gonzalez, who was killed by ICE in his vehicle last year. An agent pulled a large combat knife in front of my face, which I thought was for cutting me, and later learned was used to cut off my seatbelt. Shooting pain went through my head, neck, and wrists when I hit the ground face first and people leaned on my back. I felt the pattern, and I thought of Mr. George Floyd, who was killed 4 blocks away. I was carried face down through the street by my cuffed arms and legs while yelling that I had a brain injury and was disabled. I now cannot lift my arms normally. I was never asked for ID, never told I was under arrest, never read my rights, and never charged with a crime. Approaching the Whipple Center, I saw Black and brown bodies shackled together, chained together, being marched by yelling agents outdoors. I continue to hear the word bodies because that is how agents refer to us. We're bringing in a body. They're bringing in bodies, 7, 8 at a time. Where do I put them? We can't use that room. There's already a body in there. You have no reason to believe you will make it out alive if you are already being called a body. Agents repeatedly had to stop and ask how to do tasks. I received no medical screening, phone call, or access to a lawyer. I was denied a communication navigator when my speech began to slur. Agents laughed as I tried to immobilize my own neck. I asked for my cane and was told no, pulled up my arms and prodded forward in leg irons by agents laughing and saying, "Walk, you can do it, walk." Agents did not know if the facility had a wheelchair. When I was finally placed in one to be taken to interrogation, an agent taunted, "You were driving, right? So your legs do work." I pleaded for emergency medical care for over an hour after my vision had become blurry, my heart rate went through the roof, and the pain in my neck and head became unbearable. It was denied. When I became unable to speak, my cellmate pleaded for me. The last sounds I remember before I blacked out on the cell floor were my cellmate banging on the door, pleading for a medic, and a voice outside saying, "We don't want to step on Ice's toes." When I opened my eyes at Hennepin County's emergency room, I learned I was brought there to be treated for assault. The impacts of DHS detention on my physical, mental, and financial well-being and safety have been very severe, but I do not deserve more humane treatment than anyone else, US citizen or not. And I am here today with a strong spirit and a duty to the many people who haven't had the privilege to tell their stories or see their loved ones come home. I am extremely distressed by the pattern that violence from law enforcement has been happening to Black and Indigenous communities for centuries, and to DHS survivors for over 20 years. We call ourselves a civilized nation, but we lack rules and accountability around what a person claiming to be law enforcement is permitted to do to another human being. I am not afraid, and I'm not afraid to keep working on this problem even after ICE is gone. Thank you for your time.
My God, if you don't feel that, you're an animal. If you voted for it and you support it, you are directly fucking responsible for it. And it's time you grow a spine and grow some fucking balls and stand up against this fucking Nazi regime. I understand there's going to be people, and the worst of the worst, the ghouls, the most bigoted motherfuckers out there who are going to enjoy that, enjoy listening to her suffering. And they're going to be he. And they are going to react with their white replacement fears that she is demonizing you for being white. She's just calling out the reality that it happens to people of color a lot more. But if you remember quite clearly, the people who got shot in the face or in the back of the head happen to be white. They are being animals. They are being Nazis. And you're responsible for it if you don't stand up for it, against it. And that's all I got to say about it. If that doesn't touch your heart, fuck you. Get off my planet. That's all I got to say about that. So, yeah, the brave woman. I'm glad she shared her story. If I don't have a lot of faith that it's going to make any difference to those people who need to hear it. And that's the saddest commentary on all of that. I think if you're so inclined and you felt something from that, share it, make them watch it. Like I just made you sit through it. It's something that people need to feel. They need to hear. And you can tell she's not fucking acting. You know what? It reminded me of when I hear her slurring like that, it reminded me of Rush Limbaugh ghoulishly like making fun of Michael J. Fox when he was talking about his Parkinson's stuff. Like, I'm sure there are going to be ghouls who are just like, this is great. Look at her. She can't even talk. Fuck those people. Fuck all of you. And don't be writing to me and telling me you love me and miss me when you support the people who fucking tried to kill me. Good morning. It's a comedy show. Not really a comedy show. Anyway, that's where we are. I saw you, you're in Laguna. Not Laguna... The Hills or what? It's not
Laguna Woods.
Woods. I never heard of Laguna Woods. I don't think
that's the actual neighborhood.
Yeah, but it's part of Laguna Beach. I know there's South Laguna. There's South.
Yeah, it's in Laguna Beach. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, and the name of the comedy club is it's
not a club. No, it's not a club. It's a center there at part of the neighborhood. It's a huge community with like 200,000 to $2 million homes, and they have their own arena, not arena, but
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like one of these gated communities, and
Yes.
it's the townhouse or whatever it is. The place
Yes.
where they all get together.
It is a gated community.
It's where
Yes.
they would have me go to do a paint party for them.
Yes. Only
Yeah.
instead of hiring a paint party, they hired a Negro to do comedy.
Was that a specific part of the contract? What they call for Negro wanted.
Well, actually, that's it's what they call black letter law.
Black if you don't mind me, and I know if you're uncomfortable with answering these questions,
I probably am uncomfortable, but I'll do my best.
Did you book this yourself, or did you get like did you make phone calls, or did you have an agent do this for you? How did you do this?
A friend of mine arranged it.
Now we know you're lying. You don't have any friends. All right, just
an acquaintance of mine arranged
that's
it.
Fair. Okay, all right, we'll accept that, Your Honor. We'll accept that and let the witness go. Yeah. All right. So good for you.
I was supposed to do. I was expecting to do a club Sunday night, and that kind of fell through. There's another event going on at the same time, and the other event is like a much bigger name. So,
well, congratulations on achieving a milestone. I know you wanted to get a headlining gig in California, and you've achieved that. And good for you. I mean, it's good to know that if you set out to try to do something, every once in a while things will actually happen. And the other part of it is, if you don't do anything to try to do something, nothing's going to happen. So,
I'm kind of. Well, first of all, like I said, I did it because it terrified me.
It does?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Okay.
First of all, I'm happy to hear that. It's reassuring.
I first of all, and my wife understands, but she understands but doesn't get it. She understands that I have stage fright, but she doesn't understand why I still do comedy, knowing that I have stage fright.
I appreciate this so much, because every gig I book on the way there, I'm thinking, oh my God, what did I do? Why did I do this? I'm going to die. I'm going to die on stage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, when we were talking about it, I had a chance to back out. And the only reason I was going to back out, in my heart, I knew it was because I was afraid. Okay. And so because I knew that was the only reason why I didn't want to do it was because I was afraid, I said, when they said, do you still want to do this? I went, yes.
Wow. Yeah, so, I would too, right up until the day. Well, I shouldn't say that, because I'm exposing myself as a lie, because this Mets thing. I already expressed that I don't want to do it. But I think you are a little prolific, or on what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Clairvoyant, not clairvoyant. Psychic in predicting the future. What is that? Because they did simple
lucky guesser.
Yeah, okay. They did simplify the painting a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay.
Let me see if I can show. Where the hell is the 19th? Is this the 19th?
They made it with 3,000 less people in the stands.
Oh, no, that ain't it. Yes. Well, they took all the people out of the stands. They took the flag out of it. I don't know.
The flag was probably the easiest fucking part.
Nah, because it was so fucking it was so detailed. It wasn't just a little flag that you would put there.
You could see all 50 stars.
But what happened? Let me see. I'm gonna have to go back to my Gmail and check, because if I look on the calendar thing, it ain't showing right. But yeah, so they simplified it. It is, I think, doable now that they simplified it a little bit. But I'm still like, first of all, I know they're snobs. But where are you, Amy? Oh, fuck it, Amy. Amy, where's your fucking mail? I don't see it.
Now, one of the other things that scares me, there's a possibility that Dylan Brody may be in the audience.
Oh, yeah. Well, tell him to sit. If he does, I would tell him, if you make sure I can't see your face and don't know you're there until after the show. That's fair. I mean, I know.
Oh no, I don't know that he's going to be there.
Yeah,
because
but
like I said, because when I told him I was going to be out that way, we agreed to meet halfway between. We agreed to meet for lunch. So, and also I'm going to meet Alan Katz for lunch as well while I'm out there. Now with Alan Katz, we're going to meet halfway between LA and Laguna Beach.
So Alan Katz is coming back on the program, right? Because he said something to me like we need to continue our conversation, and I said, "Well, please come back." I haven't heard. He hasn't booked a date, but I think that was what he meant. Like he wanted to come back on the show. I don't know. Has he said anything?
Probably, yeah.
Why didn't he just tell you? Put me me
Maybe
in,
he
coach.
talked to you between talking to me, because he and I we talk once a week, or we talk at least minimum once a week.
Yeah, this was a couple of days ago, but it just seemed to me just say put me in, coach. Yeah, but I'm fine with that. I mean, he can say hello to me. It's not like a
Anne said in regards to the video, wow, God bless her. Heartbreaking to see all this. Anne in California. Hello.
Unfortunately, Anne is not one of the people I appreciate Anne's comments. She's not one of the people who needs to see it. The people who need to see it are probably not going to watch it. They'll just there's two things. They'll either not watch it and ignore it, or they'll watch it and have the wrong reaction to it, the angry reaction. Oh, look, they hate white people. It's all anti-white. Look, she's talking about George Floyd, and she's talking about black and brown people being like, she must hate white people. That's going to be a big part of the reaction. And if you want to get through to these people, and I know a lot of us don't want to get through to these people, but if you really want to get into their heart, you have to kind of be conscious of their mindset before you do it, and try not to come off as making it about you're bad, and I'm sure that's what they're going to hear. They're going to hear that the white man is the devil, and that's not the point of that. The point is that ICE is doing very racist and mean things, but you're not going to get people to do the right thing because they have this white replacement theory in their fucking minds because of people like Tucker Carlson and whatever. They're just trying to replace us, and that's the message they're going to hear. To be fair, when to take her position, I don't know that I'm autistic and thinking patterns and all this, but when she's talking about them leaning on the back of her neck and she's remembering George Floyd, I've been there. That's the first thing that was going through my mind when the ICE guys had their knee on the back of my neck. I'm thinking George Floyd. I'm nowhere near Minnesota where it happened. I'm not black. But at the point when they were doing that to me, that was what was running. I'm being George Floyd. That's what was going through her mind. So I'm certain that's what she felt.
I'm pretty certain that I would be dead if something like that happened in the car, because I'm not going to be taken in. I'm not going to be taken in. I'm not going to be thrown on the ground and put through the ringer, and especially since I went through I have real difficulty with blatant deliberate disrespect. I have trouble with it. I mean, I do my best to walk away, because that's the way I was reprogrammed, is to walk away. But my real programming says, if I can't walk away, make sure they can't walk away either. Which means I'll be dead.
To be fair, there's nothing I would have been dead too if it wasn't for a woman who screamed and the supervisor coming over and saying, "What's going on here?" With three guys on top of you and you're already subdued on the back, I was screaming. There was nothing I could do. I mean, to say I'm not going to let them do this at that point.
Just to say, from my car, I have a few seconds. If I'm just saying they're trying to take me out my car, I have a few seconds to defend myself, and I will.
Yeah,
and they will pay for it.
You
They will
sound-
know. Let's put it this way: they will know at least one ICE agent. You know how the other ones are like unidentified because they're hiding behind their mask. At least one of them will be marked.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm certain more than one of the three guys that attacked me were marked. But I think you're talking with a little bit of bravado when it's when I don't know if you remember her, but she was assaulted by about 15 of them, not just
Right.
3 of them.
I understand.
You're not.
But 15 of them
You're not
can't
going to
get into
do
your
any
car.
real damage. You're not going to do any real damage, and not me, not you, not her. Nobody is going to fucking take one of them out. You might try all you can. You might hurt.
No, I
one of
will
them. I
take
heard
one. I will take one of them out unless I am shot through the glass.
You're not Bruce Lee, dude.
I'm
You're
not Bruce Lee. No.
The guy had a fucking knife at her throat in a second. You would not take one of them out. Stop fucking imagining your fucking delusions of fucking being Bruce Lee. You're not. You're not Superman.
First of all, don't put the Bruce Lee thing in my mouth. I didn't say that.
You're not taking one of them out.
I will take one of them out.
You're delusional. You're not taking one of them out. You're not.
I'm not saying killing. I'm saying that when they walk away, yes, I may be dead, but they will know which one I got to first. I will take one of them, let's say.
I definitely heard the first guy who fucking put his hands on me. It's not. It makes no fucking difference. Makes no fucking difference in the big picture of it. Yeah, you're gonna hurt. You leave a mark on a guy. You probably was holding his arm for about a week after that.
No, he'll need surgery.
Playing a tough guy is. Just
I'm not, Matt. I'm not playing a tough guy.
You are. You're imagining you are more dangerous than you are.
No, Matt. I'm not playing a tough guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been there. I have been. Now, true, I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
But now I have a lot more rage. And
I had a lot of rage too.
There's a lot to be said about old man strength, especially when you've been through some training in self-defense.
Yeah, I've been through some training in self-defense too, and I know what it's like when you have when you're outnumbered by so many people. No, I'm sorry, you are kidding yourself. I hope it never happens. I hope you never have to prove this.
I did too, because I know I'll wind up dead.
I don't know about that. She wouldn't end up dead. I didn't end up dead. So, Alex Preddy ended up dead, and Nicole Good ended up dead. Nicole Good ended up dead. But I'm not sure you would end up dead. But this idea, I'm so bad, I would have hurt one of them.
I didn't say I'm so bad. I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I'm saying I've been through.
So have I. You're not the only one who's been beaten up by and been in fights and wars. I've been in a war at Fireman's Park when I was a kid. We were outnumbered 500 to 13. It's not. You're not the only person who's been through wars.
I'm not saying I'm the only person.
Yeah, but you're acting like, I'm different. I would have come out of that.
No, well, I am different. Yes, I am different.
You're not different.
But we're all different. That goes without saying. We're all different, man.
Chat room, do you feel it? You're with me here? You feel I would have come out of there mugging them up.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. You would have been the same as I was, broken hip, fucking needing everything out done, and ouch. That's you come out a loser. There's no way you're coming out ahead in that fucking.
Now, see, I did not say. Now, again, I did not say I'm coming out ahead. You're putting words in my mouth. I never said I'm coming out ahead. You
said you come out dead.
Right. That's not ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm guaranteeing you that they will know which one, at least one of them.
I guarantee you, I'm so bad they would have known.
No, see again, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You are
adding words. You're adding words to things I'm not saying. You have me say things I didn't say.
All right. I guarantee you, I would have hurt them.
Yes.
I guarantee.
That's different, and I will stand by that statement.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you don't have to prove it. I really do.
I do too, because I know the cost will be great, and it's not a cost I want to pay.
No. I think you're delusional. That's you
I
could
could
believe.
be.
You could believe.
I will not doubt that. I will not doubt that I have some delusions.
All right.
But I also know what I'm capable of doing.
Everybody thinks they know what they're capable of doing.
I know what I'm capable of doing.
I know what I'm capable of doing. And
yeah.
I know in that situation I wasn't capable of doing much because you're not. First of all, in the moment it
They
happened,
grabbed you walking out of the store. I'm talking about they come at me while I'm still in my car.
She was sitting in her car, not knowing. She thought she was running into a traffic jam.
We are not the same person. She and I are not the same person. She and I do not process information the same way. You cannot compare what happened to her to a hypothetical that could happen with me, because she and I are not the same person.
You can compare it to a hypothetical that happened to her, but I can't.
Okay, then you're delusional.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Superman.
See, there you go again. Why do you insist on adding things that aren't
because
there?
you're fucking. That's how it comes
But
up.
those are your
I know. I would have fought that deer in the yard and beat it. Okay, well, all right, Willie.
Again, Willie's talking about something that's a fantasy. He goes, I want
to fight a bear. I can fight a bear.
Yeah, see, those are the things that he's saying. You don't hear me saying that.
Yeah. Again, I really hope it doesn't happen to you, but
so do I.
I'm not seeing you come out of that on getting the best of anybody in that situation. I'm certain I didn't get the best of anybody.
And I'm not saying getting the best of. And I'm not saying getting the best of. You see?
Sunset says they are hurting us. We don't need to hurt each other.
Oh, Matt and I aren't hurting each other.
No, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm trying to be nice to people. I really am, and that's and the best way you can do that is to tell these fucking people to stand up and fucking be counted. The people who are, fuck you, Craig. I'm sorry, they're not Craig Johnson. If you're thinking I'm saying fuck you, Craig, to Craig Johnson, I would never. Craig Crawford. People need to accept their own responsibility for this fucking people. All these fucking MAGA people who tell me they love me and they miss me. I say all of them, two of them. But here's the ironic part of this thing. The two people who wrote to me and said they love me and miss me, these MAGA people, and they're totally law and order, both of them have gone to prison for drug trafficking. Both of them. All of a sudden, they're law and order, and it really comes down to you're just full of shit about being law and order. You just really, really, really want the spics out of America. That's what it comes down to. You're a fucking bigot, and you're just sick of having to deal with brown people. Let's be honest about it. Tell the fucking truth for once in your life. And I know these people very well, and most of the MAGA people I knew, and this guy Chavola said, "Oh, no, you're lying." No, I'm telling the truth. Most of the MAGA people I know have criminal records or at least criminal activity. Mikey Shane has been a fucking drug dealer his whole fucking life. His whole fucking life, he's been a drug dealer.
That must have been rough being a 2-year-old trying to find business.
I'm telling you, that's not that's a slight
in daycare. Hey, come here. Put down that powdered milk. I got some real shit for you.
I promise. Two is a way exaggeration, but to say that elementary school selling loose joints, yeah, selling loose joints in elementary school. Not.
Hey, put down. Stop eating that paste. I got some real shit over
here. Lunch money. People were paying for skinny joints with lunch money in elementary school, and Mikey was there. This is his whole fucking thing.
How much is lunch money and how much is a skinny joint? I don't look. Now I'm asking because out of curiosity, because my lunch money, I'm in my 60s. My lunch money started out as a quarter.
Oh.
When I was in elementary school, lunch was a quarter. I don't know how much a joint would have been in 1964 or 5.
Well, Mikey was in elementary school in like the later 60s, 68 or something. But I would say, well, he started probably selling skinny joints for 50 cents a piece in elementary school. By the time he got to high school, they were $1 a piece.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was just now saying now that was not me doubting. That was just me trying to figure out the mechanics, because I just know the pricing, because I know how much my lunch was when I was in elementary school. Lunch was $0.25. I think it was by the time I got into junior high, 7th grade, it was like 35 cents, I guess. And at that point, I was getting like 50 cents a day. I had 15 cents for allowance or something, so I could buy a sticky bun.
What's with these damn people? Stop it. Anyway, so I'm just going to continue because I'm slandering Mikey now, and he can sue me for this. Or I'd love to see the discovery if he wants to sue me for this. He graduated from selling loose joints in high school to selling cocaine, mescaline, and other psychedelics by the time he was still in high school. And even as an administrator, first of all, he started in, I'm just outing him totally here for people who know him, because they don't know him. They think they fucking know him, Mr. Smiley Face. And this is Mr. MAGA, Mr. Law and Order, all his life, while he was running a kitchen for nursing homes for the first 30 years of his career. He was selling drugs heavily. It let his autistic brother go to jail in his place. And testified against his own brother and sent his own brother to jail and laughed about it. And when I helped him get his degree so he could become an administrator of nursing homes, he was still a drug dealer. He was still a drug dealer up until about 4 years ago, when his wife made him stop. He's also a Jew hater. He works for Jews, and he's a fucking Jew hater. Every fucking word out of his mouth is kike, Jaime, things like that. So there you go. I'm outing Mikey right now. But typical MAGA bigot. That's what he is. And he smiles to people's face. When a black guy walks through the door at a gig, he immediately turns around and says, "Let's play some Motown." If that doesn't expose how his mind works. Oh, black people only like black music. That's his rationale. Look at me. Oh, I notice a black guy walking through the door. Let's play some Motown. Like, really, dude?
I had a boss a while ago. Now, I had a boss who was not racist or prejudiced, but he was ignorant about black people. And the reason why I know he wasn't, huh?
You work for Mikey.
Because he like I said, he hired whoever could do the job, because all he saw was green. If you made him money, he hired you. So half of his crew was black, and he would fire a white guy just as quick as he'd fire a black guy. It didn't matter. Matter of fact, he tried not to fire people because he went through the trouble of training them. He tried to rehab people if things weren't working out. So, but he and I got to be pretty close. Now, I knew I was never going any higher in his company because it was a family business. There was no way I was going to be a family. But I got as high as somebody in my position was ever going to get in this company. And that is, I had his ear, and and I got paid the most money.
Wow.
So, but he had called me, and I was in the truck. He called me, and there was a commercial on the radio station, and the music for the commercial was an Elvis Presley song. So the phone rings. I pick up the phone as I'm turning down the radio at the same time, but I got the phone on speaker, and he hears the Elvis music going down. He goes, "Oh, I'm surprised." I said, "What?" He goes, "I didn't think you'd listen to Elvis." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Because I didn't make the connection right away. He goes, "Yeah, you like Elvis Presley?" And I'm still not making the connection. I said, "Well, I've listened to his music over the years. I'm not like a huge fan or anything." And he goes, "I just thought you might be listening to soul or R&B or something." And then I started to realize the music. Okay. I said, then I had to explain to him. I said, "Well, yes, I listen to soul and R&B as well, but I listen to rock. I have a very broad spectrum of musical taste, and so we spent the next 10, 15 minutes getting to know me as a person, as opposed to what he thought I was based on, because he knew me from work. He knew that I was, he knew my work ethic, and that's why he hired me away from the company that I was at.
You reminded me of a Godfather thing. I'm a businessman, Tom. Blood is a big expense.
No, he was a businessman.
Yeah, I know.
And we stayed friends up until, well, he had to sell his company. He was driven out of business by a bigger conglomerate, and then they tried to hire us. They squeezed us out of business, and then they tried to hire us for their company.
Can I share something with you? Sure, I can.
Nobody's listening. Go ahead.
No,
you want to talk about your drinking problem?
No, I want
your coke problem.
I want to talk about Stephen Ortiz. Shared this. Chat GCP thinks he knows me. This is a fail by Chat GTP. Obviously, he's much fatter and uglier than this. So that's all I have to say. That's Slaptail. I guess I'm thinking John Beavers is behind this Chat GTP rendition of Stephen. I don't know. Does he have a beard and mustache like that? No, he doesn't.
Well, right? If Chat GPT picked it up, they may have over-exaggerated it because there's like a caricature.
Yeah. So they do kind of know.
I mean, I can see that. That's actually, I think that's, if I were an artist and I did that as artwork, I'd be proud.
Oh, that would be if you were in art class and you did that, that would be a maybe A+.
Yeah. I mean, I think the stomach is too small, but other than that,
the stomach is way too small. And
now, Stephen, if you're listening, just for the record, I didn't say way. Matt said way.
No, I did that. But also the joke cards over there, and I don't see any Landau fucking bits over there. So it's not totally accurate. Anyway, oh, Slaptail is here. What is he saying? I can't read that.
No, I would have made him fat, true to life. And he can't grow facial hair, more like a ginger potato.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That mustache is way too thick on him.
But I'm just saying, somewhere AI saw that, right? They saw in their thing that they processed that he had facial hair.
I don't know. What did you feed it? Did you just, maybe, I guess. Maybe you just said fat guy in a wheelchair, fat bald guy in a wheelchair. I don't know.
What I'm saying is ChatGPT didn't just make up the hair. It learned somewhere that he had hair and that he was a ginger. They got the right color hair.
All right.
So they got it from somewhere. I'm just saying there's somewhere out there's information that he could grow a beard and mustache and it's red.
All right. Let's speaking of prejudice. What do you think about my comment about MAGA comedians and the odds of them actually being funny? It's like smaller than getting a camel through the eye of a needle, right? I
think that most of them are not funny. And the reason I believe that most of them are not funny is because in my mind, to be truly funny, or the more self-aware you are, the more funny you can be. Okay, so I'm not saying they don't have a twinge of humor, but overall, I don't find them funny because they are lacking self-awareness. And so they can't project themselves onto the world accurately, and they cannot absorb the world into them accurately to make good humor of it.
I'm trying to think of one that I can find funny. You know, I don't know.
It's Jeff Dunham. I don't know if I think he's a conservative.
Yeah.
And I think he's done funny stuff. But when I watch one of his shows, it's like 10 to 15% funny. And the rest is like borderline.
I have a tough time with ventriloquist acts.
Well, there's one I really like. There's one ventriloquist act I really like. I can't remember the woman's name, but she's British or at least she's from across the pond, and she has a monkey as a puppet. And
I
yeah,
gotta cover my tracks here because there was that one lady who's been on this program a couple of times from Vegas. You know, the one with the police.
Oh yeah, April. Yeah, April
Bruckner.
Yeah,
It's I I shouldn't have gone here. I don't think I could sit through a show like that. I mean, I just have problems with the puppet thing. It just gets weird really quickly for me. And I start to think, like what is the movie with Anne Margaret with that sick puppet, Magic or something, and it's just you just start to think there's some real damage here. You become the people who have the puppets are just not. I'm sorry, April. I like you, but it freaks me out a little.
Nina Conti. That's her name, Nina Conti.
Nina Conti.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just a bad person. I'm going to hell. We know that. I'm going to hell. So don't just read my thoughts and insert your own joke for it. Okay.
Yeah. I find her humorous. And she's a good ventriloquist. And that's the most important thing to me. She's a good ventriloquist because I can be funny, but I'm a terrible ventriloquist. I used to be a good ventriloquist. I was never a great ventriloquist.
Well, first time I had Billy Wayne Davis on the program, and he was talking about a racist ventriloquist. I thought he meant Otto and George. And I asked him about that. And he, oh no, I like Otto. Well, Otto was a fucking racist. Oh, George, whatever. One of them, the guy.
One of them was a racist.
The guy, not the puppet would say the racist thing, but the guy was the racist, and he didn't really. Maybe he didn't have hate in his heart, but he certainly saw things in a racist way. His worldview. But when I said Otto and George, he shook his head. No, I like them. I like them. He was talking about Jeff Dunham, and I didn't even occur to me that Dunham was seen as this like insane racist, like over the top racist. But then I started thinking about the anti-Muslim stuff, the Muslim terrorist puppet,
Yeah.
And I laughed at that, to be honest with you.
I did. I laughed at the concept. Yeah. But once he starts building out the concept, that you see the racism and you see it.
He didn't make any attempt to kind of redeem it in any way or point out the racism within his own bit. And I think that's a big part of it. But yeah, so Jeff Dunham, ever since he brought that to my attention, it changed my perception of that. Not like I was ever a Dunham fan. I don't see how he made not billions, but many, many millions of dollars off his puppet act. It's like, oh wow. I can't imagine being a kid, like when thinking like I did towards music, getting instruments and trying to be a ventriloquist. I want to be a ventriloquist when I go out. I'm going to practice ventriloquist. I'm going to go in my room and practice in front of a mirror, getting this puppet to talk. And then it's just a very...
That's what I used to do that, though. I used to, when I was in elementary school.
You weirdo.
Because of Willie and Lester. I mean, I had seen like was it Edgar Bergen and I can't remember damn it, Candice Bergen's father.
Right, Edgar Bergen and Mortimer Schnurd.
Right. I remember them, and when I saw them, I would, do the ventriloquist thing once in a while, but only because I was a mimic. Whenever I saw something on television, I would try to imitate it. Like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. There's this little scene where they're talking about elves can wiggle their nose and wiggle their ears. Well, I started trying to practice. I was practicing wiggling my nose and wiggling my ears. And then I started doing them so I could do them both at the same time. That was the thing for me to do.
I was a fan of Paul Winchell, Winchell and Mahoney Hour. That would Paul Winchell was a ventriloquist when I was 5 or 6 years old. There's a question on the table here. Is Dave Chappelle MAGA? No. He's anti-trans, and he shares that. He's definitely anti-trans, even though he shares a story about his trans friends and all. He is definitely got.
Now I was about to ask this because you are not anti-gay, but you openly admit that you are uncomfortable with it. Is it possible that Dave Chappelle is not anti-trans? He's just uncomfortable with it.
No,
I haven't heard. I have not heard the material.
Yeah,
I honestly have not heard them. I've heard one bit on YouTube. I think it's talking about somebody that he worked with or something like that.
No, he makes a point out of really minimize his point. I'm trying to paraphrase his whole, because he did like 3 shows on anti-trans stuff.
Right, and I've only seen like 30 seconds.
His major overriding point, and this is a fair point, is that trans people don't understand the Black experience of being a minority, and that's a fair point.
Right.
And they try to relate themselves in the same level of discrimination as Black people. And well, we've never had trans slaves, or I shouldn't say that. We've never enslaved people because they were trans. But there have probably been some slaves who were trans. But his point was,
I don't know if they would have been trans back then. I don't know if they knew how to do that. I mean, the closest that we had back then would have been Constradas.
You're saying back then, like slavery doesn't
slavery. I mean, actual slavery in the
in the United States, but it does still exist in the world. And I'm thinking,
right. That's what I'm saying. Currently, there could be slaves that are trans, but I'm talking about the Black experience, since that's where we.
So he started out on that, trying to make that point that he, as a minority, he was a little bit uncomfortable with other people trying to equate their experience with the Black experience, and that's a fair point. But then he went on for 3 specials trying to kind of just really denigrate them and make them feel, but in the same breath trying to excuse himself, like, I had a trans friend who cried and I cried when she died or whatever, and that doesn't negate your wanting to see them continue to be marginalized because you feel like threatened by them or any of that kind of stuff. He definitely went over the top, and to do 3 hours, more than 3 hours on trans people are bad, and there's no such thing as a trans person, a woman. You're not a woman unless you're born a woman, and all that kind of stuff. So he's definitely anti-trans, but he didn't start out. I think it built up. He started making a good point about don't equate it with Black discrimination, and then he just couldn't stop himself from going full on J.K. Rowling. Trans people are evil. And but the answer to your question, no, he's not MAGA. I'm certain Dave Chappelle probably, right? They don't go too long. If he sees a nice person beating up a Black dude, he's not gonna be on board with that, or even a brown dude. He's not on board with that. He's not on board with the overt racism of MAGA. I doubt he would vote for Trump. You think he's a Trump voter? I doubt it.
I hope not.
I doubt it.
Not that it makes it, because I'm not going to pay money to see him anyway. The only difference that it will make to me is that if he's MAGA, I will never let him open for me.
You know what? I wouldn't pay to see him. The reason I wouldn't pay for him has nothing to do with any of that stuff. I can't afford it.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, I can't.
$450 a ticket at Foxwoods when he performed there last year. $450 a ticket. That's $900 if I wanted to take my wife. Not that I would take.
I jokingly shared my LA thing to my family. My family has a Facebook page, And I know none of my family is going out to Laguna Beach to see me, but they can stream to see me. So what I did was I said, you can come out to see me for $700, and I wrote down what every $700 would include: the round trip ticket, airfare, rental car, hotel, the whole bit, $700, or you can just stream it for $5. Both are a bargain, So I'm just saying that because I think I put the price tag to see me round trip to California and back, to go to California, see me and come back and feed yourself, is still less than some of these comedians are charging for front row tickets.
Yeah. And for the price of what you are going to rent headphones for on the plane, you could see him on Plausible.
Yeah, I didn't even. Oh my God! Where were you this morning when I wrote that? Damn it!
Well,
now, I have a question for you. I think I know the answer to it, only because I think I know you. Now, I'm not gonna say well enough, but the news things, you don't listen to them first. Do you check like the first 5 seconds to make sure it's the same date?
No.
Okay. I didn't think you did. I try
I
to make sure that all that.
I just blindly trust.
Okay. And that's why, to me, that's
I don't think anybody would notice if I played yesterday's news. I don't think anybody'd notice.
Well, I guess I think I would notice, but
you would notice. But I'm thinking the people, because you know that they start
the
coming
AI,
in
the AI guy. When we had the AI guy, when they did something, like, wait a minute, they covered this, But also it's confusing because they were always 2 to 3 days behind what had already happened as well.
Right.
By the time they covered it, we'd already talked about it.
Which is weird because it's still on the website. And they're not supposed to be. They just haven't removed the app yet because it still feeds into the website. And if I go there, like the text news that comes from them, that same company, Alan Edwards dude, is up to date. It's today's news in the text headlines that are on the front page of Mind Dog TV.
Now, I have a question for you. With the thing that the Reverend does, with the Reverend I do on this show, do you think that with a little tweaking, we could actually sell that as a news service in the mornings?
No way. No chance in hell.
You don't think anybody else would want it?
No, because there's no demand. There's really, at least I shouldn't say there's no demand. I haven't done market research on this. I don't think there's demand for joke news. No, the news part. If it was straight news, maybe there'd be a demand for it. But I don't think anybody is looking for funny news or news with punchlines. They're just looking for headlines. Not
I'm glad you just said funny, see, and I'm going to claim that now. But last night, Dylan Brody called me brilliant. He didn't mean to. He was blurted. He was angry at something I'd done, and he goes, "You are deliberately sabotaging your brilliance." Because what it was I wasn't telling a joke. I was telling him a true story that had happened. And so I started telling the story, and then in the middle said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I should have told you this happened in February. It was February. It was really cold out." And then I continued the story. And he goes, "The next time you're telling a joke in here and you miss a part, do not interrupt the joke to insert a correction. You figure out a way." He said, "You figure out a way to make the correction and make it part of the joke. He says, you're sabotaging he says, you're too good. You're sabotaging your brilliance when you do that." And I said, first of all, I'm going to take away the fact that you just called me brilliant. Second of all, it wasn't a joke. I was telling you a true story, and it just happened to be a funny story. I'm not telling a joke. So I didn't mess up the joke. I messed up the story. But I'm brilliant, huh?
Far be it for me to call Dylan an emotional bitch of a man. I admitted that I am an emotional bitch of a man, but that sounds like he's getting too worked up over it. I can't. He's trying to help you, but still, he could do it with a little less. It's not like he was petting a dog that was dying for 4
hours. Well, it wasn't. I didn't take it as being emotional. I took it as being like scolding.
Oh,
like, don't do that.
trying to read these headlines, and of course, I got to get the good glasses, man. This is from the minddogtv.com, and it's that was Alan Edwards' headline stuff. It says Austin Appleby battled waves for 4 hours as he swam. Austin Appleby is a guy's name. I was thinking it was a fucking restaurant.
I was thinking like the founder of the restaurant.
Austin Appleby battled waves for 4 hours as he swam 2.5 miles back to the beach to get help after his kayak. His mom and 2 siblings were tipped over. Austin Appleby, come on, you can't be named that. Where's my fucking dessert?
Okay, this is my question.
Come up with him.
Was everybody else still with the kayak?
I'm guessing mom and the siblings were holding on to the overturned kayak, right?
So if they're holding on, why didn't all 4 of them kick together?
Or why
use the kayak as like a flotation device, and the 4 of them kick together, they wouldn't have to go back for help. They'd all be helped.
Good point. And I will say this: Colonel Mike, General Mike, President Mike, Dictator Mike, King Mike, Mike Kaufman. He would have dragged the kayak with the kid and the mom hanging on. He would have dragged that and swam with one hand and still managed to go 2.5 miles.
Well, I see that was my first thought. My first thought was that I would pull the kayak, but I know myself. I don't have that kind of lung power. I don't have that longevity. But the 4 of them together could do it. Because I'm not stupid. I know I could not. If the
mom,
3 of them
kick
were,
a little bit. Kick a little bit.
Yeah. If the 3 of them were relying on me to save them, they'd be dead. I do not have that capacity, but I can drag them as long as they help.
Yeah. Heavy Kev said he saw Dave Chappelle with a MAGA hat on. I've never seen that. Now you got me questioning. What do we got? What did he say?
You could sell the Reverend as an obituary service. LOL.
Yeah, you know what? Somebody yelled at the Rev about because I didn't post the show. Now he did it Sunday, and I posted it yesterday, which was Tuesday, and somebody saying, "Where have you been the whole last week?" I guess people can't wait for their obits. Like I don't know. By the time the Rev reads it, they're already angry that it's an old.
Well, by the time the Rev reads it, they're already dead.
Yeah. I mean,
and some of them have been dead for days.
So that was a comment last night about one of the obits that the Rev read. It was like, come on, it's Tuesday. It was Tuesday night. He read it Sunday morning. It's not that old. Where was which was the one? Doesn't matter, does it? Anyway,
so are they reading the ones that I post and I share to MindDog? No. Or is these ones that you're sharing separately?
The one that goes straight from StreamYard. Jackson Brown? No. Jackson Brown? What? No. What? That's not. What are the comments, man? Fuck everything. Fuck everything. Oh, where you been the last week? This is Humberton reacting to the Revs, saying Shirley Raines, remembered TikTok creator and advocate. And the comment is, where you been for the last week? And then 3 crying laughter icons. Or
at least they thought it was funny.
Yeah, but why? How long ago she died? It's not like, well, whatever.
All I said, by the time, look, when I write these up for the Reverend, I write them up Saturday night, which means they died between the previous Saturday and that Saturday.
Right.
You know, now sometimes
it's not too late to obit somebody a week after they die. That's
and not only that, it's like if you look at the TikTok, you'll see people the same fucking things over and over again, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, or a different version of it. I know, like Catherine O'Hara. I can't tell you how many Catherine O'Hara tributes I saw on TikTok and Instagram. And who else died that week that was also prominent?
I don't know. I'd have to go through them. StreamYard picks them out one individually. They do one obit at a time, like the little thing. So
okay, and that's pretty much what I do when I make the shorts for the Reverend.
Yeah.
Except for I try to make sure that I make it make sense. I'm not sure the AI that StreamYard does
Oh,
that.
make it make sense.
Yeah, in other words, I want it to be less than 3 minutes, because if it's 2 minutes and 58 seconds, well, let's put it this way: if it's over 100 megabytes, it won't make it to Blue Sky. Blue Sky won't put it on there
Oh, really?
as a short. Well, no, yeah, the video's over 100 megabytes.
Well, see, you shouldn't put it well, I shouldn't tell you what you should do and shouldn't do. I would not put it on Blue Sky. I would put it on YouTube and share the link from YouTube on Blue Sky. So that, because Blue Sky is never going to you're not going to get monetized on Blue Sky ever, like ever in your life. But if you put the link on and then go to YouTube, you're more likely to probably get to the point where monetize and add subscribers to your YouTube channel and all that. So that's why.
No, the only problem I have with that is that when I do it that way, I don't get the views. For some reason, the people like this, and this is so fucking stupid. If I add the views I get from when I post them separately, because I did this like as a study, so I know what to do. Let's say I get 28 views on. No, let's say I get 100 views on YouTube. If I share YouTube to Facebook, just share that link, I might get 105 views. But if I put the video on YouTube, on Facebook separate from YouTube, I'll get like 150, 200 views, which I don't understand. If they're viewing it they'll view it on Facebook, but they won't view it on YouTube.
No, the problem is the algorithm, the platform's algorithm doesn't work for you as hard. So Facebook, if you put it on Facebook, Facebook will show it to more people, show that actual thing, or give people the opportunity, put it on their feed, whether they click or not. But if you're just posting YouTube, Facebook doesn't push it as hard. So
yeah. And if I want the views, I have to share them separately. If I just share the link from YouTube, I don't get the views.
Yeah.
And at least that's how it works for me. Other people be like, well, GD, you're doing something wrong. Okay, fine. Show me what I'm doing wrong so I can stop doing it wrong.
My point is, and you're absolutely right, that is what happens, because Facebook will not show the YouTube link anymore. But I want to say my philosophy on this, which is a really stupid way of saying it, but my feeling on this is that Facebook doesn't count. They're never going to monetize you on Facebook. I don't really fucking care how many people see it on Facebook. I would take 5 views on YouTube over 100 views on Facebook any day of the week. I'd make that trade.
Yeah, but I don't have enough followers on YouTube to get. So like the videos that I do, the shorts that I make for the Reverend, for the church thing, for the obituaries. Yeah. Now I'm just starting to say, for the full video, go to my YouTube page. So that if they see, and that's a constant tag. So even though with the subtitles and everything, beneath the subtitles, it says for the full video, go to my YouTube channel. Yeah. Okay. And hopefully drive it that way, because the Reverend's YouTube channel is like leaps and bounds, or okay, a subscriber a month maybe.
Yeah.
And not even that, because
I don't care about Facebook. I mean, I'm on Facebook and I post stuff there for sharing, but when it comes to how many people watch it, I don't even check the numbers on Facebook ever. I should, I guess, at least see what the numbers are.
Well, I used to check the numbers to find out what was working, not because believe me, I don't have any kind of bragging rights, none whatsoever.
Oh. They got to stop showing me these young girls trying to show off their bodies all over social media. Stop it. Just get it out of there's nothing I could do with it anyway. I'm an old man my dick fell off at the beginning of COVID. Stop showing me these young, enticing young women getting all sexual in my face. Don't do it. Stop it. I'm here for guitars. Guitars and really just guitars. So stop showing me this stuff. That's all I'm saying. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Stop it. God, yeah, it's just, why do they do this? Now, how do these girls make money on this stuff? Like on Instagram, I'm just here's me laying on the kitchen counter. What the fuck? Get out of my fucking face! Why are you laying on your kitchen? I'm not going to eat on that counter now. You think I'm going to make a sandwich on that counter after you put your ass on it? No. I'm sorry. Where were we? What is that? Heavy Kev saying? I can't. I need to get a bigger font here.
That would be really nice if they gave you they gave you like a choice to have a bigger font.
I think they do somewhere in here.
I found it once by accident. I could not find it again on purpose.
Yeah.
And then again, it wasn't for all of this. It was only for like
here it is, right up here. I see it. Where it says show comments on stage.
Right.
Up on there's a little like EQ thing next to it. If you click on that, it says size, tall, wide.
Oh, okay.
Font. Look at that. I found it. Font size, but I can only make it tall or white. Tall or white. I can't.
What about? Oh, that's okay.
Big. I want it big. I got it.
Yeah, I just put in.
I got it set as for as big and wide as possible, and that's all we get. That's not good. Come on, give me more. Give me more. If I go regular, nothing happens when I.
Oh, we're looking at the same one. Because when I touch it, you're changing it. When I change it, you're changing it at the same time.
You know what happens? It's when you see it on stage, it gets bigger and wider, right? Because
see, I thought it just got bigger and wider in the chat room.
Yeah, nothing's happening. Nothing changes. You could click on that shit all day, and that's just a tease. Doesn't work. Fuck them. All right, now I'm all mad. How did I get all mad? Anyway, yes. Oh, look at that. Did you see that? Look. Ooh, boop, 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 boop. Oh, this is wild. This is like taking drugs. I'm taking drugs, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just having too much fun.
All right, people, stop that, because the people on the radio, you're fucking with their.
Yeah, I know. All people on the radio. Oh, I forgot the people on the radio. All right, so
and that's the whole reason we do it, for the people on the radio.
Right. Music-wise, turning our attention to what's happening in music in the world. You don't know who Anthony Fontano is. I'll tell you who Anthony Fontano is. He's a guy with a YouTube channel. He's a music commenter. Reaction to music, talks about music. He seems like a young guy. You know what? He seems like me. He's bald and he's got mustache, and it looks like he dyes his mustache even though he's young. But he's got a dark mustache. He's got round glasses. Like I used to have round glasses, and I will have round glasses again. He talks about music, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because.
I'm sorry, Matt. Can I get rid of this shit on the we have the text all inside the
I have what?
The text underneath of my face. You see it? The chat room.
How is that? Now, how do we get rid of that?
I asked you first.
Oh, here. There you go.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's weird. Why would anybody really want that? Especially the people, the people who make money off of super chat. You would never want stuff automatically be put up on stage because you're hoping people will pay. It's just a weird thing to pay for. I want to pay $5 so you can see my comment in the chat room. No, we put them up for free. Anyway, going back to
we are terrible. But it's also a well-known fact that we are terrible businessmen.
Yes.
Have a good day, Ann, in California.
Yeah, have a great day. Not just a good day. Have the best day possible. So Anthony Fontana, who's a music commenter, he was commenting on Rick Beato, who Rick is a music teacher, a music theory guy. What makes this song great? And he also does some commentary and some interviews and stuff. And Fontana was commenting on Rick Beato's video about why music is no good anymore, why music is getting worse. And that, to me, that's just an old man yelling at the cloud type of thing. Music is not getting worse. It's getting harder to find music that you like, good music, but there's so much of it out there that it's just it's harder to find than it used to be. But I don't think you could say there's always been crap music and lots of crap music. Like,
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah.
this, if you look at this, like Rick Beato will claim, the 50s and 60s, there was a lot of shit, even on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Crap music. So this idea that you can just say, well, Rick's claim is technology makes it too easy for people to make music, and that's why music is getting worse. And
the weird thing now, I think back then some of the stuff that would be crap music, I think was novelty songs. I guess I'm not sure. Like I'm thinking of like I'm Henry the Eighth, I am Henry the Eighth, I am.
Yeah,
that is not. No,
Mrs. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I got love in my tummy.
Is that how? Oh, I thought it was dummy, dummy, dummy. Got a babe in my tummy.
I think they might have done that because the Ohio Express.
That was Mad Magazine. Mad Magazine did dummy, dummy, dummy. Got a baby in your tummy.
Yeah, Ohio Express. I think that's the name of the band that did that. They did a bunch of songs that were just like they didn't do Dizzy. That was Tommy Rowe, but they did a lot of just remakes of Yummy, Yummy, Yummy. I got love in my tummy. Different spins on that. And it was garbage music, and there's always been garbage music.
I'm telling you now. I'm telling you right away. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Don't tell me now. Tell me later.
And also, and not to mention, okay. And the thing is, I used to love this stuff, even though it was stupid as shit. It was good party dance music. Jimmy Cash the Bunch and the Bertha Butt Boogie and stuff like that.
There's some value to that, just straight ahead dance music.
Yeah, it was just, they had the groove. They said, well, we got to have some kind of lyrics. Well, anybody in the band a lyricist? I got a girlfriend with a fat ass. Okay. And that helps us out.
Fat bottom girls, man. Come on.
We could do Bertha Butt Boogie.
Yeah. So Fantana did this whole thing as a reaction and a rebuttal to Rick Beato, and then and this was like a year ago, but I just saw it last week. But then 3 months ago, he had Beato on. Like, he did an hour-long rebuttal to Rick Beato, and then 3 months ago he had Beato on, or Beato had him on, and never once did they talk about their disagreement on this stuff. And to me,
oh yeah, if you're going to go through that trouble, you might as well talk about the disagreement.
And yeah, be direct. Don't say, I don't know if you know this, but I was talking bad about you behind your back. Hey, buddy, how are you? It's good to see you.
Well, even if you don't say I was talking bad, you can just say, like, look, I have a bone to pick with you.
Right, and I just disagree with the point.
We had some points of contention. Yeah.
But
Alan Katz and I, the first show we had, the question was, does everybody have a sense of humor? And he maintained, I can't remember what the point was now, because I changed my mind. I mean, he and I were like discussing it and having like a back and forth. And then at some point we went, okay. Because we know that everybody doesn't have a sense of humor because psychopaths are incapable of it. Oh, I know what it was. I told him that I did not have a sense of humor as a child. And he maintained that I probably did have one. I just didn't know it. Because we talk about the things I did as a kid, and it turns out that I did have a sense of humor. It's just that it got, my sense of humor grew with my self-awareness. Yeah. See, that's how I developed that whole hypothesis that humor is related to self-awareness. Because before that wasn't something that we had discussed. That was just,
the father of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, did.
Yeah, Chuck Berry sang that.
Yeah. So and that was good. That's why I want to disagree with Kevin here. Not like it's I want to fight him over this, but music is easier to create right now. Therefore, there's more crap. No, it was like music has never been hard to create, especially crap music. It was never hard. You could learn 3 chords and bang out a crap song. Chuck Berry is My Ding-a-ling is a perfect example of that. It was easy to It's not. There's not more crap now. There was always a lot of crap. The thing is, it's just so hard to fucking sort through a minutia, a pile of crap to get to good music. I don't think.
Yeah,
technology
back in the day, it was more effort to get crap out there, but there was crap music. It's like you had to go to a studio and stuff. Like now, I could do a crap song and get it pushed out on.
And you'd never get a record or it was harder to get a record company to put money on and have something printed and put out. Now you could do it for free and put stuff out. So yeah, you'll hear more of it, but that doesn't mean there is more of it. And the idea that's because something is difficult, it's necessarily better. It's just ridiculous in art. Things can be very simple and very easy and still be beautiful works of art. And they could be easy to do and still have great value and beauty to somebody. But it's coming back to this Fontana and Rick Beato discussion. They were talking about technology and all this stuff. They started, and they both have had negative views of AI, but they came back to saying exactly my point of view. If somebody wants to listen to it, who am I to tell them that it's not good? If they find value in it, and it was surprising to me to hear Beato finally admit that and say, you know what, if somebody else finds value in it, it's not for me to judge that it's not good. Don't worry, be happy. A lot of people love that fucking song. I hated it. But that's not for me to tell them that they shouldn't listen to it. It's garbage. If they like it, they like it.
Yeah. It's not. Now this is not music. This is just something that I just got reminded of yesterday when I got off when the show ended. Whenever the show ends, I walk into the room because my wife's office is right there. Right, you can't see it, but it's right on the other side of that wall. And so. Yeah, right on the other side of the wall. That's where my wife's office is. And yesterday she was in the office, and when the show ended, I walked in because it ends around lunchtime. So I walk over and I say, "Are we going to eat lunch together, or you may eat without you, or have you already eaten?" And she goes, and she looks at me, she goes, "Sounds like you had a rough show." And I'm like, "Well, no, not really." She goes, she says, "I heard you say something like, shut the fuck up, I'm trying to talk."
No, what you said was, God damn it, I can't finish a fucking sentence today. Yeah.
Well, no, will you let me finish the sentence? I don't, because I could finish one. I just did. And my wife had asked me about that because she's not used to hearing me say things like that. That's not.
I'm surprised she didn't notice how quiet you really didn't.
She didn't care. It's not like she noticed. It's not. She didn't care.
Like, did he die? Somebody go check on him. Is he still alive?
And the funniest thing was she interrupted me later by saying that I'm letting him finish the sentence. She interrupted me by saying I'm letting him finish the sentence, and you go, technically you're not, or something like that. Actually, you're not.
How did Tiny Tim get famous? Is the question on the table. Well, I think, and
was it Johnny Carson or Ed Sullivan? Tiptoe through the tulip.
Yeah, I think it was.
Did he know somebody?
I think it was Laughing. If I'm this is just my 10-year-old recollection or 9-year-old, whatever I was. That Dan Rowan thought he was hysterical and put him on as a goof on Laughing. And then people were like, well, that wasn't bad. And then all of a sudden, the next week, it was out on a single and people were buying it. And then he was on Ed Sullivan. He was on Johnny Carson. He was on all these shows after that. But Laughing put him on almost like, this is just so ridiculous. People will laugh at it. And then all of a sudden, and did he ever have another song after Tiptoe Through the Tulips? I know. Like he got married on like television and all. He was like
he got married on television.
He had like a
everybody
3-year
thought
or
was
4-year run of celebrity. For one song, not even two.
It says he showed. Okay, let me see here. Apparently, he'd been in he began performing in small clubs and cabarets under various stage names, including Larry Love, Derry Dover, before settling on the name Tiny Tim. Okay. His Tiny Tim's big break came in the spring of 1968 when he appeared on the popular television show Laugh-In.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Other hits than Tiptoe. This is a lot for me to tell. Did Tiny Tim have any other hits?
He had an album.
Tiptoe.
He had an album called God, and it says debut album. Like maybe there was another one. His debut album was called God Bless Tiny Tim.
It says Tiny Tim did not have any other or alternative versions of the signature hit Tiptoe Through the Tulips. 1968 Reprise Records release was his only major hit, although he did record various other songs and released multiple singles throughout his career. Didn't say anything about an album, but discography includes other recordings: The April Showers, Great Balls of Fire, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but none of those were hits. Legacy 1968 version featuring. So yeah. He had celebrity though. He had some celebrity to him for like 3 years off of that one stupid performance on Laugh-In. So, you know what? That was the beginning of the Andy Warhol era of everybody will get famous for 15 minutes. Oh, that reminds me. You said make it make sense before, and I wanted to comment on that. My friend Big T, Tom Farrell, who is a comedian, who used to have a YouTube show, Cooking with Big T. He was cooking THC butter, and he was coming up with all these different recipes. I had him on the show, and I told him that edibles, I never got high on edibles. He goes, "Oh, you're getting a care package. Give me your address." And so I sent him my address, and he sent me this huge bud of like really good weed and a bunch of edibles that were really good. And so of course, I love Big T. And so
I love Big T, and I cannot lie.
He's been doing these video series on Facebook and getting a lot of traction on it. Make it make sense. And he goes around and looks at architecture, and he's like, what the fuck is
right,
this?
Right, yeah.
Make it make sense. Come on, people. Come on, make it make sense. And he was in Philadelphia. He's from Queens, New York. I think he reached East Rockaway. He's in Philadelphia showing like some old building there, and he's showing all the lions and clowns and platypuses. He goes, platypuses, make it make sense, people. And then you hear some guy in the distance. He goes, hey, are you the guy who says make it make sense? Oh, come on, man. So he's on the road now in Philadelphia, and people are recognizing him on the street as the guy who says make it make sense. So good for Big T. I think he's going to stop stand-up and just become the make it make sense guy. Probably making money off it. And good for him. He should. One guy gave him some shit about overdoing it with this stuff. Like, fine, you know what? He's having fun. Let him have fun. Damn it. Yeah, so, we disagree, Heavy Kev, but that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, and your opinion could be right and mine could be wrong. But I don't think that just because it's easier to record, it's easier to publish, definitely easier to publish, that there is necessarily more music. It's just it's easier to hear because you just go on social media and everybody has their own record label now. Everybody has their own ability to just put shit out there. So you will hear more of it, but that doesn't mean there is more of it. It's kind of a cutting pubic hairs with Occam's razor, right?
Occam's razor?
Is that even did I just make up a whole bastardized metaphor there? Cutting pubic hairs with Occam's razor. How do you say it? Occam's razor?
Occam's razor.
There's an S in there, though. There is an S in there. The S is silent for some.
Oh, no, I thought the N was at the end showing possession because it's Occam's razor.
Is it?
Right?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'm watching this guy who's a scientist, who's also an atheist, and boy, his boner for Christianity is just like so much. Like he just wants to tear down Christianity and boost atheism, and he does video after video on this stuff. I started watching him because he was talking about debates and how to win debates and have people lose debates, and featuring Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson, people I just like watching lose debates, Charlie Kirk. But he's talking, he's, now everything I see is like anti-Christianity, and it doesn't even occur to him that he's as much a zealot for atheism as a hardcore Christian is for trying to convert you to their belief. Like, fine, you want to be an atheist, and this is my point on it. You want to be an atheist, I'm not going to try to talk you out of atheism. If you want to be a Christian, I'm not going to try to talk you out of Christianity. If you're either one of those and you're trying to make it that I have to believe what you believe, you're equal. Don't try to put down. You just become atheism. Just becomes a separate religion, a religion of don't like Christians then. And he doesn't even really bother even going into Muslims or Judaism, and he keeps coming back to this idea of the Christian God. The reason it's like the question on the table was, what's the best argument for atheism? And he said, well, the Christian God. No, there is no Christian God. The Christian God is the Jewish God. It's just Christ claimed to be the son of that Jewish God, but it's not a Christian God. It's a Jewish God. But that aside, he's saying, because God has to, why would a benevolent God allow evil in the world and or tragedy in the world, or hurricanes and tsunamis and all those earthquakes and life-destroying things? Why would so to believe in a benevolent creator, you have to question that? And I'm like, no, you're questioning whether, and it's going to sound like I'm trying to make a case for theism now. I'm not. I'm just saying that is a bullshit argument, because all you're really arguing then is that mankind might have got it wrong. There could be a creator who isn't benevolent at all, but somehow they got it in their mind to write down he's benevolent. It could just be a creator, could be just an asshole like me. Not like me, better than me, but but he could just be an asshole who created this for his own joy of watching suffering. That doesn't exclude the possibility of
how about this? There was a creator who was benevolent. That creator died, and things just went unattended. It's like having it's like you start a garden,
right?
You know,
so that's a fair other argument.
If I start a garden and then I die, and the garden kept growing, but then it got really kind of whacked. Because I was not there to take care of my garden.
So that's a good point. I hope somebody brings that up to him. But his argument for atheism is that because people got it wrong, people claim that God was all. And I'm not saying there is a God. I'm just saying that his argument that there is no God is based on people telling you what God's characteristics were. Not that excludes the possibility of a creation. No, I don't. I think the odds are logically, the scientific explanation probably seems more likely. But who am I to say that? And what the fuck do I know? And what the fuck do you know? Nobody knows, and that's the whole point of this. But just to be on this fact that everything has to be. Come back to Christians are bad. And I think my point, and kind of Fugelsang said this better than I did, I ever will. But if you take the magic tricks away, the teachings, the idea that, do unto others, that's a fucking beautiful thing. And if you can live by that without the miracles, you don't need the miracles, then why would you even fight against that stuff? That seems like a beautiful thing, trying to teach people how to live together without killing each other. Is there something wrong with that? Is there something that bothers you about that? Oh, well, they don't. You're talking about the religion, the organized religion, that want you to live in fear. But the people who believe in the teachings, Why do you want to take that away from people? They're acting nice. Well, because Jordan Peterson is a dick. I will agree with that all fucking day long. And Jordan Peterson trying to shove his version of how to live down your throat. That's just wrong. But
Yeah.
that's not to say Christianity is necessarily wrong because you can't believe in the miracles. Neither can I. A lot of the so-called miracle to magic tricks, as Fugelsang likes to call them, that's so unnecessary. And I think that Christianity on a whole does a disservice to the teachings by focusing on all the magic tricks, the miracles. What do you need them? You don't need them. Anyway, it's the hypocrisy of him trying to argue with somebody that, how dare you try to tell me how to live? I'm going to tell you how to live. You're the same. Atheism is a religion, and they refuse to even acknowledge that or look at it and say, yeah, that's right. And now it's becoming organized, like with him and other people who are on this.
Well, it used to be organized before. At least there were one or two voices in the atheist movement. I can't remember. There was one woman, I can't remember her name, but she wound up being murdered. For her money, her coins and stuff or something.
Donahue had her on, right? She was the head of the American atheist movement. Phil Donahue made her famous, and then she got murdered for
coins or coin collection or
something like that.
And like gold.
That. Yeah.
Trinkets, doodads.
Yeah, so atheism is a religion. All right, that's a show for you. Our experiences can change us. Okay. Wait, I got to read the whole thing. I got to go back. She go, well, Sunshine has a lot to say on this. Or maybe not. I'm just reading back too far on Tiny Tim. Exactly. You never know what someone else is going through. Our experiences can change us. Yeah. All right. So tomorrow, Beth Polino Dudzik, who would talk, she was I hate to say groupie. Is that a derogatory term, groupie?
What did she call herself?
I don't know. Because when I first described her, I said she was in a rock band because on her website for her books, they had all these pictures of her like holding guitars and stuff. I thought she was in rock bands. She was just part of the rock music.
She was a band enthusiast.
Yeah, well, I don't know what. That's what because I'm gonna have to introduce her tomorrow. I don't want to say she's a groupie. She's a fan of the rock music scene and big part of the rock and roll scene of the 70s.
She was a traveling band enthusiast.
Right. Now she's an author of romance novels that include the 70s rock scene in New York as the backdrop to her series. Now, most of the authors.
Oh, rock scene music. Yeah, I remember that. There was Brian Ferry. Rock scene music.
Roxy in my head. Most of the authors we have on, when they do series, we're talking like 3 books. I think we've had some authors who've had as many as 5 books. I think she's on her 9th book in this series of romance novels about the rock and roll scene. So she'll be back on. And I don't think, and this is a little touchy for me. Do I mention this to her? That I don't think she remembers me. She's older. Obviously, she's in the mid 70s. She was clubbing while I was probably still in high school. So I think she's a couple of years older than me, and that maybe has something to do with. But I don't think she remembers.
You're jailbait. Why should she pay attention to you?
She shouldn't, but she was on my show. The reason she should pay attention or at least know who I am now is because she's been on my show 2 years ago. But according to when she booked herself on this show, I'm not sure she thinks, because she went through the whole description of.
Yes, she was on the evening show. So to her, they're not the same show.
Right, and I'm not the same person, I guess. Well,
she may be looking at that. She may be just. Yeah.
Well, when she books, and you know this, when you go to the booking page on minddogtv.com, you kind of get my picture is there. When you say, "Oh yeah, I know that guy. I remember him." Am I not memorable? I mean, I'm not saying in a good way. I'm just saying you'd look at me and say it's hard to forget a guy who looks like Tojo or Groucho
or
or
Heimlich or Heimlich or
who was the emperor of Japan? And was it
Hito?
Yeah, that guy. Whatever. Or Robert
Ito?
Klein. Robert Klein said I look like Himmler. I mean, all those, all those and more. But I'm pretty memorable. Not not in a good way necessarily, but so. The point, the question, I guess, do I even bring that up? Like, do you even remember me, or just I play it off like I'm meeting her for the first time and let her say, "Oh, what should I do?"
I would say I could be wrong, but you seem familiar. Have you been on the show before? You know,
like I don't remember her. I remember her well. I've been posting her shorts from her last thing, and they're doing quite
well. In
well.
that case, just say I'm ashamed. I thought I meant more to you.
That's exactly what I was thinking. But then I kind of embarrass her. But
well, it's okay. If you do it, it's like it's like comedy. If you do it from a place of love, and it's obvious that you're trying to be humorous, you're making light of a situation, you can sell it.
You know what? She's got one of these pilot to co-pilot type headsets on too. She'll probably have that on tomorrow. The pilot to co-pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not many people come on interviews with that kind of. I don't know. She'll be here tomorrow with that. Maybe she got rid of that in the last couple of years. I know she's done a lot of podcast stuff. So that's what we'll do. Tonight I have some rock star military guy, and again, he's a guy who uses different names on his sign-up sheet than on his website or his music label. I'm not sure if he's still active military. I'm a little. I don't know. I feel like this could be a MAGA guy. Every time I see
a magazine, no,
yeah, a magazine MAGA guy. Every time I see like a military guy all tatted up and stuff with military tattoos, covered in military tattoos, I'm thinking this guy's gonna be hardcore flag waving Trumper, right? That's a prejudice. That is definitely a prejudice. I shouldn't think that. What about me? Well, you're not. Are you all tatted up? I've never seen you with your shirt off, to be honest, John. And yeah, I probably did before you spoke. I probably would have had that prejudice about you if I would have known. Oh, this is a military guy and he's tatted up. My first until I got to know you, that probably would have been my first prejudiced reaction. Yeah. Oh, here we go. This guy's gonna. And to be fair, I know that that's not necessarily always true. Like that Valhalla guy, even though he considers himself very conservative, he's not MAGA at all. He turned against MAGA, and he's not Trump at all. A Trumper at all. He is definitely calling out the hypocrisy of the Trump people. And last night he did this thing on Epstein's interview. Have you seen that? Steve Bannon's interview with Epstein? Jeffrey?
I saw parts of it, yeah.
He says,
are you the devil?
And if I ask you that, well, let's just try it, for example. Are you the devil himself?
No.
That's the right answer.
Why would you ask me that? No.
That's exactly that's the right answer. He was like, what? What? No, I'm not the fucking devil. Fuck you. Why? What? Where you get off even asking me that question? That's it's just like saying, what? Come on. What did Peter Thiel had a similar answer, like when he was asked if he was the Antichrist. But he said, and it's just weird hearing Bannon being the one. He's saying it comes off as bullshit when you talk about you earned your money. You earn your money by blackmailing rich people. And now Bannon is in bed with the guy. But hearing him say it's all bullshit, like, what was this? Like a trial preparation type of thing? That's what it comes off like. We're rehearsing for a prosecutor type of thing, right? Not necessarily a real interview. What? Go ahead.
I just wanted to share something because we had said magazine. Well, we had said MAGA and I said magazine.
MAGA.
This is from back. Did I share it? How do I share it? Oh, there it is.
Mega, mega, mega.
I
Mega, mega.
yeah.
There is.
Did you see it? Stop it. Back up.
What the hell is that in your hair? What was that in your hair? Like
bunny
a bow?
ears. See, bunny ears.
Oh, okay.
But did you see the spanking of the ass with a magazine?
Oh yeah. That's what I like about you, right? What?
No, it's I'm a man. Well, I'm
the
the man.
I'm the man.
But it's yes, I'm the man, but it's a parody of it.
Have you ever seen Slaptail with his shirt off? Have you seen it? Have you noticed his tattoos? I never noticed the tattoos.
When I saw him, he was totally naked, so I didn't even look at his chest.
What kind of tattoos? See that's the other thing. It's not just the tats. It's what the tats are. Like it's like my father had a tattoo of a girlfriend he knew before. He had a girlfriend picture tattooed on his arm. That's a little weird when your dad has a woman on his arm and it's not your mom, and then you find out it's his ex-girlfriend and the stuff. That's a little weird. But
my dad had a girl on each arm, but once he saw my mother coming, he was like, "No, stop, get off."
Yeah.
Steph has a great joke about a stamp tramp tattoo that I'll probably play that up when Steph is on. I'll probably play
Is that next Friday? Next Friday she's on?
I don't know which Friday. I thought you said the 13th.
The 13th.
Next Friday.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. So that's something to look forward to. We'll talk about her anus tattoo. She's got an anus tattoo?
No, but she said she was going to get a tramp stamp.
That is so weird when
but the joke is really funny. I laughed out loud.
People get tattoos in very sensitive areas. Man, like, it's not that you have to the guy's got to look at your junk for all that time. It's just like, doesn't that hurt? Like you're getting needles in your very sensitive pubic area or wherever. I don't know. I don't like needles. I'm not a needle guy. Anyway,
I'm not big on needles, but I understand. Like that's not why I don't get a tattoo. I just the first thing is that they're permanent, and there's nothing that I can think of that I want permanently attached to me other than my skin. I can't think of I have a life philosophy, and that is leave the world better than I found it. I would not want that as a tattoo, because who knows if I'm going to feel that way when I'm 70,
You're not 70? I thought you were 70.
My mother-in-law thought I was 70 about 20 years ago.
Wow.
So my mother-in-law, by her reasoning, she would think I'm 90 now.
How old is your wife? Is she maybe I shouldn't ask.
Younger than me.
Younger than you.
Yeah.
Significantly younger than you?
4 years. 60. She's 62.
Yeah.
She told me, okay, she told me that I could not talk about her work. She didn't say I couldn't talk about her age.
Boy, I really want to talk about my wife's work, but she won't let me. My wife is paranoid that if I say stuff about her work, people could hear about it, people at work could hear. Like, I don't think anybody who knows her or works with her has ever listened to this program.
But wouldn't it be the one time? Wouldn't it be the one fucking time that you do it that somebody hears it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would be in big trouble. So I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
I tell her I don't talk about. I hear you saying my wife. Yeah, but I'm not talking about your work. Every time she wants to tell me something about her day. Don't say this on your dopey little show. I don't talk about your work.
Dopey little show. All right, Elizabeth. First of all, I'm part of this dopey little show. Don't you call this dopey little show a dopey little show?
I can guarantee you, if I tell her that GD said he's part of the dopey little show.
Who the fuck is GD?
Yeah, that's absolutely.
I'm not sure that she used the word "fuck," but
no, she wouldn't. It's got some weird Christian prude thing going on there.
I have now a lot of my family. Now is her family like religious? Like a lot of my family is church going. I have like no love for my family when it comes to my quietly and privately. My family likes my comedy as long as I'm not cussing. They think I'm hilarious. The thing is, they don't understand that I don't hear cuss words. I hear words that I want to use for that moment.
Man, I can't bite my tongue any fucking harder. You know what? Let's change the subject. Well, I'm not talking about my wife now. Well, I'm talking about somebody else. Well, let's talk about somebody else. Somebody else I know was raised in a very Catholic family, and Uncle Dick was a priest. Yes, he was a priest. Uncle Dick was a priest. And Uncle Dick was part of the Rockville Center diocese, which was a very well known for shuffle a pedo priest situation. So we've had a lot of that here on Long Island, where so this person I know had an uncle who was a pedo priest, and like they still talk about, because he was awfully close to the family, like, and to the younger boys in the family and all that stuff. And some of the boys now are really anti-church, and I have no evidence of why, but you definitely have to suspect that Uncle Dick was not necessarily keeping his perversions out of the family, right? Is that fair to say?
I would think that's a fair assumption. I don't know if it's a correct assumption, but sure.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is, I guess I'm spending eternity on the couch.
But not with Uncle Dick, right?
No, he's dead.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the only way. Well, that would be eternity then if he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
all right. Now, just out of curiosity,
I gotta edit that part out. I'm sorry.
Just out of curiosity.
Yes.
Let's say the afterlife is real, and let's say that there is a place called hell that is like eternal damnation.
I got my ticket already. I got my ticket. Okay. I'm sorry.
Name three people that you would not want. Let's say there's a cell, you have a roommate. 3 people you would not definitely want to be your roommate in hell.
Donald Trump.
in heaven, either place.
Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and what's his name? Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, okay.
Those guys, they can get their own ward. I think I should.
Now, what about three people you would not want to be roommates with in heaven?
I don't know anybody who's going there.
Hello. God. Is there anybody else here?
Yeah. Wow, it's awfully long. It's awfully lonely here.
Jesus. Muhammad. Buddha. Krishna. Damn.
When I see these extraordinary, beautiful women, I hope that's what heaven is like. It's like, just them. No dudes, just all these really beautiful women. I could start naming them, but then I'd probably be in trouble there because, you got a thing for her? Not a thing. But there are some celebrity women that I just think are just like perfection in human perfection. I'm sure they have their faults just like the rest of us, but you don't see it. You don't see it. And to me, there's an illusion of perfection there. And I hope their shit don't stink. I hope they're perfect.
When I was in my 20s, I used to live with this. I lived with this woman who, in her own right, was very attractive. But she knew I had a thing for Paula Abdul, and I couldn't hide it. And it got to the point where if Paula Abdul was on television, she would just come get me. She goes, "You might as well come and watch her. I know you're thinking about her." Or when the kids also knew. It was the worst kept secret in the house that I had a thing for Paula Abdul.
Double standard here. not with you, but with women, because you had to think for Paula Abdul. Every girl I've known in my entire life, every girl I've had as a girlfriend or a wife or somebody I live with, I've known who their guy is that they have a thing for. But I'm not allowed to have a thing for, and I don't really.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
My wife had a thing for a while for the bald guy from Fast and Furious, the white one, not
Vin
one
Di-
of the.
Vin
Yeah,
Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
He's gay.
And the thing is,
No.
I didn't know. I did not know this at the time. I did not know. It was just the first time I saw him. I said to her, I said, "You know he's gay, right?" And that was as soon as I saw him. She goes, "He is not." I said, "No, look at I said, he's gay, and he's probably about 5'3". And of course, I don't know this because I'm only looking at him on the movie screen. No, I've never seen him in person. I don't know how tall he is for real. But I said, he's gay, and he's about 5'3". He's probably, how tall is he? 5'6" and gay?
I don't know how tall he is, but he is definitely. This is like from years ago. Somebody commenting on a comment I made years ago. What the fuck?
And my first wife liked bald men also.
Yeah. Ron DeSantis is gay. Did you know that?
Oh, I suspected it from the very beginning.
I suspected it, but I think the Epstein files validate it 100%.
Well, I didn't see his entries in the. To be honest, when they said they released like 3 million, when there was a misprint in the newspaper thing, the newspaper article that I had, it was a misprint and said 3,000. I was going to download the PDF files and start going through it. But there's a couple of days later when I heard it was 3 million, I went, fuck, I'm not trying to go through 3 million. I'm not going. And then I see all these people who went through, of course, they didn't go through all 3 million. They did searches. You know, they typed in names and pull up things. And they're like, Donald Trump's name is mentioned 1,000 times. Him and his wife's name is mentioned 5,300 times. Him and his wife and Mar-a-Lago are mentioned 38,000 times. I'm like, fuck, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm going to say it, people are going to say, whatever. They let them say whatever they want. He has put together all this, signed off on a lot of anti-LGBTQ plus legislation. And to me, that feels like
he does protest too much.
No, he wants all the cock for himself.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it'd be like if I really liked steak. I'm not a beef eater, but if I really like steak, I would go around with an anti-steak campaign so that not only would I get steak, but because nobody else is eating it, the price would be so low, I'd be getting it for a steal.
That's what it kind of has a ring of that to me. Like, yeah, he's so nobody, but he just wants all the cock to himself. That's the only way I can put it. Like, it just makes sense to me. Like, either that or you hate yourself. Why would you it's like purposely being, if I put like a anti-bald bill out there, I hate fucking bald people. We got to arrest all the bald people. What the fuck?
No.
You loathe yourself, self-loathing to the max degree. Well, you just want all of it for yourself.
Now, this is slightly different. You know quite a few comedians. You know a lot of comedians. Who's the funniest person you know who's not a comedian?
That's a tough.
And don't say me, because that would hurt my feelings. No.
I don't know if I could answer that. When in my youth, I would have said my friend Louis, but he's dead, and he wasn't my friend when he died. He was my enemy when he died, not by my choosing.
What made him funny?
He was very animated.
First of all, how old were y'all at the time?
Well, I've known him. I knew he was like a cousin, but not a cousin. I knew him since birth, really. But he was 5 years older than me. He was a mentor in a lot of ways, a drummer who taught me a lot about the music industry. He was extremely funny. Just his way he could tell a story, the animation behind him. He looked like a Muppet, like a human Muppet. like Animal from the Muppets, the drummer from the Muppets. He had that personality going on his whole life, and he was fucking hysterical. But then he became my enemy over shit that went down with the band and all that stuff. Louis was a good guy. I don't want to say too much, but he had this thing where he wanted me to fire everybody one at a time. Like somebody else in the band was the problem, why we weren't succeeding. And he would pick people out like, oh, we got to get rid of him, and just work on me till you got to get rid of this person who's been in the band for years now. They're the problem. Replace them and then go to the next one. You got to get rid of this one now. And so when I finally had enough of that, he became my enemy. He tried to run me over one time. We weren't friends at the end, but he was hysterically funny. He was not a comedian.
I was trying to answer that for myself. I was hoping to get inspiration from you, because I was trying to think of my childhood, and I'm thinking, who did I know that was deliberately funny? You know, because there's like some people that were like accidentally funny. You know, there's a guy named Vernon Mahable. He was an Italian Indian. His father was Indian. His mother was Italian, and he was so accidentally funny, really smart, but he was so. I don't think he was trying to be funny. I think he was he just said things that were just funny.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to think of who do I know when I was a kid that was actually deliberately funny, and I can't think of anybody.
My friend Leo Caulfield, who is also dead. He died 54, about 15 years ago now. He was hysterically funny. He was my first friend who was in the high school era of my life. He was the first friend who I had who was a year and a half older than me, but he was we hung out like best friends. And one thing that in my mind that sticks out is he said, "I'm going to tell everybody you cry when you come." Like, what and then we were out on like out in the handball courts or whatever, and he would go up to people and just whisper it to them. But and I'm going, he's telling you I cry when I come, right? People look at me like, what? Why? Leo was hysterically funny that way. He would set me up for things like that. Just looking at this comment. Here's this comment that from 5 years ago now, or from longer than that. February 4th, 2020. Jason Hillman, who's a comedian from the Midwest somewhere, and he was on one of the first people on the podcast back in the day. He was talking about Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, and they're squeezing Hillary out and all this stuff. And I just said, I've earned the right to say this. Anyone over 60 years old is not fit for the office of president. I'm over 60 and I know my generation. Trust me. Find someone younger. And I stand by that. I think, and maybe that's an exaggeration, 60 is, but can't we just get somebody younger than 60 years old to be president of the United States?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with a 60-year-old being president, depending on the individual.
I think I said that because I was 60 at the time. I probably would say 65 is a better cutoff age now. But at some point, I think and this is ageism, and I know it, but I'm an old person. I think I'm allowed to say this. You don't have a new hire. Nobody's hiring me at 66 years old. Nobody's looking to, would you like to start? No, I'm not a career person. 65, 66 years old,
the president isn't a career job. Just like being like I'm 66.
No, fair enough, but 8 years. So if you say 65, they're going to be there for a minimum 4 years, but probably 8 years. A good chance 8 years. You don't want a 70 something. No, we gotta draw an age limit. And I think the age 60 is not a bad place to start. Like 60 is a cutoff age if you're going to run for president, so that when you're done, you're 64 or 68 at the most. You're still not like, where's my Jello?
Yeah, I believe me. I see that, and I agree with that to point. Just to, like I said, 60. I think it depends on the individual, because I would feel better with someone who had some institutional knowledge of how politics works and someone who's been around that they've seen bad shit happen.
Yeah.
And they want to avoid the bad shit from happening, and they have an idea how to avoid the bad shit.
Yeah.
No.
I get it. And believe me, I know there are exceptions to the rule.
Somebody who's smart enough to to know their own mind, but smart enough to know that they don't know everything. I'm picky. In other words, I'd pick me for president. But I don't want to be. I wouldn't want to be president. But I'm to be honest, I wouldn't want to be president. But I'm the only person left on the planet that I trust to be president.
That there's a lot of realism in that. The thing is, with this principle idea, there are going to be exceptions to everything, but at some point you have to say the principle makes sense. And now we're just quibbling over what the number is.
Yeah,
no matter what the number is.
Like the old joke. We know you're a whore. Now we're just haggling over price.
Right. But so that's absolutely right. But so even though we if we ever get to the point where we could say this is the cutoff age, there's always going to be somebody who is an exception to that rule, who is qualified, and they're over that age. But we have to say, sorry, we made the rule. I think you have to go by that anyway. But yeah, Bernie Sanders, well, I agree. I understand why so many people like him. He's just too fucking old. He's just too fucking old. If he, especially now, what is he? He's got to be close to 80, right? Or 70s, whatever. He's too old. Hillary Clinton, way too old. I mean, and I never liked her to begin with anyway, but all these people, can't we just get another John F. Kennedy, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, something
who's still
in that
fucking,
range?
who's still got the libido going, so he's like still sneaking. That's one of the setbacks. You get a young guy and everybody's throwing the pussy at him.
Somebody who we don't have to worry about sharding in the office. I'm certainly sure you had to have seen that clip with Trump laying out a really dangerously sounding fart in the chair, and then everybody clearing the room immediately. Get out of the room! Get out of the room! It turned out I think Trump shit his pants the other day in the middle of a press conference. So that's somebody we don't have to worry about that. That's what I'm saying. So wherever that. Can we just decide 60, 65, pick a number that makes sense to everybody? Say, got to be younger than that. Got to be young to start. And you're right, it's not a career position, but 4 years or 8 years is a long time for somebody who's already on the verge of nursing home qualifications or whatever. Time to wrap this up, isn't it? This was a long day, all long morning. I have business meetings to attend. Life is just thankfully, I shouldn't say thankfully, I have no more trauma to deal with today. Like I don't have to go cry today. How about that? That's a good thing. It's something to be grateful for. I don't have to go cry.
When you posted the thing about the anniversary of your son's death, I was this close to commenting, but I couldn't think of anything that I wanted to say that would not have sounded like I was being a joke. It's like I
would welcome a joke, definitely.
And I thought, because everybody else, and the thing is, I thought you'd appreciate the joke, but I saw there's like 100 comments, and I didn't look through them, but I'm sure they were saying things like, sorry for your loss, feel better, and I'm thinking like, and I would write something like, some people would do anything to get away from you.
That's right.
And they go like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You see the man suffering. Good God, GD.
I would have had you back, though. I would have had you back on that. But Joy Adler said to me, thank you for sharing this. You have an important message. And I was going to say, is that important message about my extended warranty? Because I think I heard it. I have an important message for you about whatever.
About your car warranty.
So join me tonight. I'm scared that I'm going to have to deal with a MAGA military guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Tonight is trivia night.
I know. I'm not.
We got our asses kicked last week. Oh my God! But the week before, we were kicking everybody's ass.
How do you measure an ass kicking in trivia?
By points.
By points.
Yeah.
It still doesn't feel like an ass kicking. I mean, we get
Yeah.
that woman back, Leah, whatever. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. The lady who got dragged out of a car. I don't think.
Rockman? Isn't her last name
Something.
Rockman?
Yeah, something. We will, whatever. But it feels trivial. Your ass kicking. Your trivial ass kicking feels trivial.
I last night.
In terms of a real ass kicking.
I don't like writing one. It's not that I don't like writing one line. I can write jokes. I can write jokes. The problem is I don't like telling jokes. I don't mind inserting them into the middle of a story and stuff like that. But just for me to like tell a joke, that I don't like that. And so what I did, but I have all these jokes from Dylan's workshop, and so I'm like, so I went to Ron's open mic a couple weeks ago, and I decided I was just going to do the jokes that I did from Dylan's workshop, and I was awful at it. I was awful at telling jokes. I stopped telling jokes and I just started telling stories and putting the jokes in the stories, and I felt much better. I'm a storyteller. I'm not a joke teller.
Yeah.
But I can write jokes. I can write jokes.
I'm a terrible joke teller, but at least I know it. I know people who are also terrible joke tellers and have no idea how bad they are at telling jokes and love to tell jokes. And like every time I see them, I know I'm going to get a barrage of jokes that I have to endure. They're no Jackie Martling. They're not. Oh my God!
Now, are these jokes that people expect you to use on the show, or are they just telling you the jokes because
they didn't. This happened long before I ever had a show. But they just they're musicians. Two people in particular, I'm thinking. I mean, if they hear this, they'll probably, he's talking about me. I know it. But every time I see them, I got to get the latest 10 or 15 jokes they've learned since the last time I've seen them. And I have to sit there and fake laugh at the end of it. Like, because, and the first two were easy, but when you're into
after a while,
5 or 7, like, do I have to? Can you just not tell me him?
My neighbor did. I told this story before, but I still think it is so hilarious. I was in my yard working, and he drove by and he rolled down his window and we were talking, and I said something to him that I knew was humorous. It wasn't like ha ha ha, laugh, laugh funny, but it was humorous. Okay, it was worthy of a chuckle. Okay, and he looked at me and he says, "I just want you to know, I don't laugh on the inside." And I just bust out laughing because a lot of people will say things like, "I'm laughing on the inside." He wanted me to know, I don't laugh on the inside. So
if you see me not laughing, it's I don't.
Right, it's not fucking funny. And I bust out laughing. And then the funniest thing is, the thing that made it even funnier was that when we're shooting his TV show pilot, I'm meeting all these actors and stuff like that. So to break the ice, everybody's talking about the director. That's the guy, my neighbor. My neighbor's the director and the writer. And so, everybody's talking about how wonderful he is and blah, blah, blah. So I have the one story I was telling about him saying, "I don't laugh on the inside." And I tell it and they all laugh. I'm laughing. And my neighbor says, "I really don't remember saying that to him." And that it makes it even funnier to me because that was so sincere. It's not like he was like setting me up for a joke that he's like, no. He's like, it was just, he just said it because he just felt it. And to me, that is so funny, so genuinely funny.
I got some exciting breaking news, at least for me, exciting.
The Kickbots have now found 4,000 subscribers that we didn't know about.
No, next Wednesday, which will be February 11th.
Yes.
Liberty DeVito, the drummer from Billy Joel's band and a great studio guy, and now who plays with the Lords of 52nd Street. Lords of 52nd Street. He will be with us next Wednesday morning for a discussion about music, drumming, playing in, I want to get specifically, I want to talk to him about AI and ripping off people like him because, AI the AI models go and literally take his drum parts and put them to new music, and he doesn't get credit or payment for it. I'm really interested. So that just came through. He said, let's do it next Wednesday. So
great. Now,
cool.
Sunshine says there seems to be a fine line between comedy and pain. It's not just a fine line. They're connected, just like comedy and horror.
Yeah.
It's the same centers of the brain.
Fuck you, YouTube. Woohoo, Antifa out. Okay. Let's cut this thing off and say goodbye. Everybody have a great day. Join us tomorrow, Best Palladino Dudzek. We're going to be talking about the rock and roll scene of the 70s. Blah, 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 blah.
So everybody, turn on your radio and walk around nappy.
Nappy.
I
to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.